It's Quant Trade Edge, and today I was looking at SMCI stock. This is a stock that had this huge down day on options expiration Friday, and today it put in this doji essentially, but it was essentially down over 10% at the low here, and we caught a good chunk of that in our Discord channel. And I just wanted to kind of show you the structure behind, how and why we did what we did. So, this is a 1 minute chart, and it, gapped down, came back and didn't quite fill that gap, and then had this impulse down into 841 Central. And then we had a very clean two waves up. This bar is inside this bar. So, if I put the Gann counter on, you'll see the structure that I'm drawing. These are all up bars. This was down bar, and then these are up bars. So there's your ABC. And then here, just to show you how precise and important the structure is, when this came up here, I thought it actually broke through here, making a U-turn, and I prematurely got long. But then, and then obviously it came off the next minute, and then when I confirmed, this high was exactly 767, and this high was 766.99. So it actually did not make a U-turn. This was just an ABC, and that ABC led to new lows. And if, you were to have shorted this structure, which, I didn't do because my macro picture was to look for a place to get long after that big down day on Friday. But, if you had done that, this would have been, easily a 8-to-1 or 10-to-1 trade there. Now, when we actually got some traction to the long side was after the 5-minute U-turn. So, here's that morning action right here, and we bottomed at, on the 945 bar, and then we got this ABC right here, A, 1 bar B, C, and let me figure out which one of these, 2411, 2450, it's this bar. So when we take out 2450 now, we have a U-turn. So that happened over here at 1125, and then we went sideways for about 45 minutes, and then we started getting that traction to the upside. So basically, you could have buy stopped this 724.50, and our first target would be this right here, 767, and then the second target would be the open, 790. So, from 724.50 up to 767, you're talking about 42.5 points, and then another 23. So what is that, about 65 points from here to here? Not bad for a day's work. So, again, now the reason this is your first target is because this low of day was made off of one wave that started here. So that's kind of your first place, and then you can see how you get a little bit of a pullback there, about, about 8 points of pullback. And then, we continued, and to show you again how precise this is, this open was exactly 790.00. And this right here got to 789.97, got to within 3 cents of the open. I mean, 3 cents is nothing in general, but especially on an $800 stock, that 3 cents is nothing. And then we came down and did this little move here. So, all of this looks wonderful in hindsight, doesn't it? But what I'd like to do is, show you our actual Discord. And, you can see here, oops, the wrong page. Let me go back to go to the equities page, and yeah, there we go. So a 5-minute, so a 5-minute ABC sell on SMCI, which is this right here, and we'll watch for a U-turn above it. So initially into that 5-minute ABC, I was able to short, and then somewhere around here realized, okay, the short isn't going to work. And I waited for the official U-turn to really start putting on size on the long side. And then here that was at 11:26 a.m. Right as the U-turn was happening, SMCI 5-minute U-turn. And then here, again, this is the swing that took us to the LOD, to kind of show that that's our first target. So that's where I'm looking for it to go, 767. And it got to 767.70 before it pulled back. And then I said the next stop is the open, which is 790, and that was at 156. So again, before it happened. And then here we tagged the open minus 3 cents. And then now I think we zone out and close as a doji and get more upside tomorrow. At least I don't like the risk of being long from this level. So that was at 2:10 p.m. Going back to here, 2:10 p.m. was right here. So once we got that close to open, I didn't really like it in here just because the risk reward is not the same as it was coming from down there. Because I really think tomorrow we'll probably get a bit of a pullback, and then I do think we are going higher because this daily doji, does anything can happen. It could still go lower, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it go and give us a retracement of this move, right? So even just the 38.2 gets us to about 839. 50% retracement gets us to about 886. So I'm probably thinking somewhere in there between 839 and 8. I'm sorry, that's 885. So somewhere in there is a reasonable target for longs if we take out the high tomorrow. And this high is 802. Yesterday's close was 803. So I mean, let's let it get to 803. Get above 803.32. So call it 804. And then we can look for some sort of pullback to play into the upside tomorrow. So that is SMCI. And again, this was an epic move. If you look at something like the RSI, we got as high as 96.79 on this day, and it was above 97, here before we fell on Friday. And, Friday was a frustrating day. It was options expiration, and I did see that breaking down. Where was it? It was actually, I think I was looking at a 1 minute. And I saw it breaking down here, and I got puts, and by gap fill, the puts had doubled, and I thought that was wonderful, and sold them, and then they went for like a 12x down to here, so that was extremely irritating. But can't cry over spilled milk. This is what it looks like now, and tomorrow, if we take out these highs and yesterday's close, then I will expect a little more upside. Probably somewhere to the midpoint of this this pullback, which is here. Another thing I just wanted to comment on is in our Discord, we do have all of the indicators, that we use in quant trade edge strategies. Things like the 1 minute NASDAQ scalping indicator, the GAN indicator. In fact, the GAN indicator, and again, these are indicators created by our members, and they're for NinjaTrader, they're for TradingView, and the GAN counter is actually better than the GAN counter I have, because the GAN counter I have, I still have to manually, visually take out the hoagies, and we had a member of our Discord actually program it with the hoagies taken into account. So that's pretty amazing stuff. And that's all in the free part of our Discord. So you're welcome to come and join that part and partake in the indicators. So anyway, have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.